Like for me, when you want something so bad and you role play it 1,000 or maybe even 1,000,000 times in your head, and it comes to the day it's time to take off and go to Houston, what was really going through your mind that morning going, okay, now I have to do a huge voyage in a bus that you have not tested farther out, you know, anywhere past this county, and now you're about to take it to a place across the country. What was going through your head when we took off and started heading to Texas in the bus?
I felt like the redemption vehicle, having the Flake on it, was going to be the thing I needed to redeem it. That was the only thing I didn't have done in Indy, and I wasn't able to sleep. I just couldn't stand it. And then reapplying for Houston, getting accepted, I just knew like all of the chips are in my favor for the universe to serve me up a perfect dish here. I just have to get there. Yeah. And this school bus isn't something that's got 1,000,000 miles on it that I trust. It has almost 100,000 miles on it that I have not put on it. I've only driven this thing maybe 20 miles total, not even enough to get the thing up to temperature. So I was heading to Houston just worried about even making it there. I was trying to figure out how do I push a bus 1,000 miles if need be, and I was willing to. I just felt like I was on a mission to let this car not be the rejection vehicle. I didn't feel like I was understood in Indianapolis, and I felt like if I went to a fresh spot away from home, getting to show what kind of garage spirit I had to even get my bus together to make this happen, I feel like that morning when I got in the bus that it wasn't going to let me down. Like as soon as I started it, I got off the gravel road and started feeling like me and that rig had been together forever. And I don't know when it was. It might have been crossing the bridge at Louisville, but it wasn't too far from home before I just had a feeling that I was going to pull something big enough off on this one road trip to justify whatever trouble it gives me for the rest of my life. The bus was doing great though. I hit the interstate. I was planning on going like 60, 65 miles an hour the whole way down there, and we gave ourselves 2 full days to drive to get there. And I mean, we put down 10 hours the first day at 65 or 70 miles an hour, just like it was a regular truck. The bus was doing great. We ran into a ton of rain going a route we thought would avoid it, but they were calling for hurricanes, and we were just trying to zigzag around any kind of rain we could find, and I think it ended up sending us right through the hot spot of it. But we made it through all of the storm just in time to roll into JJ's truck stop for our first night's sleep, and we did that in the hammock and right there on the floor.
I know, we kind of talked about it while driving. Didn't it feel like me and you were in this portable treehouse clubhouse? And like, how is any law enforcement allowing these 2 boys? I felt like me and you went back to being little kids and just manufactured this bus in our backyard, made a clubhouse in it, and like, let's just go to Texas. It
did feel like the kind of stuff I did before I had my license though. You know, I used to jump in my uncle's truck and go camping and go on lake trips and stuff. And the whole time I'm worried about the police showing up. It was kind of that same feeling heading down there to Houston, really. I knew I got inspected the day before. I know everything's fine, but it was just so much fun feeling like we were in like a tree house on wheels that I felt like the very first DOT that seen how much fun we were having was going to just rain on the parade.
Yeah.
Next. Appreciate your time, bud.
Good start.
Scrap House spaceship has landed. Yeah! $5,000 bus, son. Made it. Made it, dude! This bus ain't never been out of Indiana before. Yeah. Yeah, so when we pulled into the Walmart, I was almost the whole road trip slingshot and caught up to me. I realized that I wasn't just sitting in my shop dreaming this up. I had manifested this into real life. I felt like about every inch of that road trip I had already dreamed in my head. I felt like I'd been there 1,000 times. And this was a chance for me not to just redeem my roller coaster race and Isettas from last year, which I've set out this season to do and to prove Jay Leno right. But this was a chance for me to redeem a misunderstanding from Indianapolis. I felt like they didn't check my garage spirit meter well enough. You know, it may look like it's resting on 0, but it's on the opposite side of the peg, people. And I felt like me showing up in my bus, in the version of myself that did, I was exhausted again, buddy. I just put in 30 more hard days building a bus from a trash pile too. And when we got there, I knew that if they recognized me, we were going to be in good shape, because in this competition, you have creativity. I know I'm creative. I trust myself as a creative. That is what I was put on earth to do, is create. Authenticity. There ain't nobody that feels better to be themselves than me. I know I'm there. And garage spirit, I want to walk in the garage that possesses a more intense garage spirit than this one right here on my acre of earth. And I do believe that if these judges will just give me the time of day and really look it over and understand that there's no VIN number on this car. This ain't a real car. This is a sculpture I built with my 2 hands out of a garbage can of me and all my buddies that were crazy enough to trust me too. And I was here to show that it didn't take fancy tools, didn't take anything other than the fancy education I have at Wyotech that I've built on here in this shop the last 40,000 hours. And I trust that what I've done, every single inch of good intention that I've put forth, ought to pay back in this parking lot. So we get there midday and I posted that we landed, and a few guys even showed up to check it out that were local there. And the humidity was like 1,000% or something. So it didn't matter how cool it was gonna get. We knew we were gonna be sweating. I ended up trying to sleep out on the back deck, but being able to see all of the Hot Wheels show across the parking lot made it to where I couldn't sleep naturally. So as soon as I heard the first truck and trailer pull in for the show, I decided to jump up, get my teeth brushed, and get the RV pushed over to first in line. I wanted to be sure to be the first in front of that backer board. I know how, just from being at the other shows, they pull the very first car in first so they can get the cameras adjusted and everything. So I knew that would give us here at Paper to Pavement the biggest opportunity to get shots in front of this sign that I missed out in Indy. So we're trying to make up for all of the slack that we did have. And getting there, I tried to sleep in the RV, and about the time I got there, they knocked on my window and told me, hey, get readjusted here. We promise that you'll be first in line. So me and Trent got ready. We got rolled in front of that sign, and it was real. Like they recognized me. They said, weren't you at Indy? And all the people standing there, they knew who I was. I didn't have to even give them the paperwork. I finally did what I set out to. I didn't do this to win a show. I didn't do this to do anything but get Paper to Pavement recognized. And I want to show what kind of builder is behind this. You know, I'm obsessed with building toy cars in real life. And I want the toy industry to recognize and understand that and see that I didn't just build one car that I want to be a legend. I am sitting here building the future of a toy industry. And I'm going to be able to build something that I can put together in 80 days out of a trash pile. And I can show up here and I can get in front of this big sign when the other guys took years to get here with team and money and all this stuff. And I just want to let them know that I don't need that. I have the love, I have the want, I have the ambition, and I have the knowledge from Wyotech to make anything happen that I say I want to make happen.
What are you feeling now? Do you feel better than this, than Indiana?
Buddy, I was scared that bus wouldn't make it. I never drove it, man. We're here. I got a freak Flake car finished. I'm not gonna, if I get beat today, that's fine. It's the best it can be. But I wanna see what beats it. I truly believe that this is the next Hot Wheels legend. I feel it in my soul, my bones telling me that I did it. I did this right. I just hope the opinions of others don't get in my way again, because I've got something special here. I know I do. I got eyes, I got a heart. I feel it touching it, man. Today's gonna be a good day. It is. I made it. The bus will go anywhere in this country, man. I trust it. I trust the bus. And dude, I didn't quit. I wish my kids were here to see their dad not quitting, but they know. They thought it was over too. They went home, cried about it just like I did. And it's not over till I say I'm done, and I ain't done. Today, we may be though. Go way up. Let's force their hand.
Yeah, we'll put on stage. Oh, look at them Keystone.
So compared to Indy, we got a premium parking spot. I absolutely loved where they put us. From the outside looking in, there was this giant monster truck behind us that was like drawing people straight to my path. And I told myself I wasn't gonna sit back and just let everyone enjoy the car. I was going to show what I built it to do. We're here to put on a show. I built an RV that will lay a 6-foot tall driver, and I want them to see that. I have people walk by and go, oh, it doesn't have a steering wheel, when they see it as a bed. And then I can get the opportunity to stand in front of them and transform this and get to actually grow the imagination and real life of these kids and adults. Like, there's full-grown people saying, ah, that doesn't even drive. That does. Yes, it does. It drives, it sleeps, and it's here to redeem itself. And I thought it did it. I was seeing the crowd was just flocking from where they were going to this monster truck to us. Like, we started getting a big crowd. And in that crowd, all of a sudden, Trent tells me, look over his shoulder.
Hey, Mikey, who's behind me?
What are you doing here? You liar. Trent tells me, look over his shoulder, and there's Cindy Barlow from Wyotech. She showed up to Indy, and I was so upset that I let her down with a loss. And we knew that she wasn't going to be able to make it because she had to be in North Carolina that day. But she flew into Houston to hang out with us and to help me show, which is a big job. You know, showing a car like this in front of a crowd like that is pretty intense. And with just me there and Trent running the camera, having Cindy there made the day flow way better than it ever would have. So thank you, Wyotech, for having our back in Houston too. Not only did you make this dream come true, but you're there to support us in the end. I was so happy to be showing for that crowd like we were, and being able to unfold into a bed, into a driver, and then at the end of the day, get to stand up on stage and let everybody know exactly how this came together. This came together from love and a passion and a regret from last year. You know, I did leave plenty of things on the table that I didn't get to express about me, my area, and my tribe. Like, we're a crazy bunch of people, and we can redeem ourselves in dark times, light times, it doesn't matter. You know, I can come up with something, I can see it through, and we're not just talkers, we're doers. So they call attention to the stage at the end of the day. They're ready to announce the winner. And I went up there and stood, and I was listening to them talk of all the things they needed in a Hot Wheels legend. I felt like they were reading my resume, if I'm being completely honest. They were talking about what they wanted to win this whole show and what needed to be taken to the world. And, you know, I did feel like they were speaking right to me. And then he pronounced my name right in Houston.
Mikey Brown. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Isetta. Just an incredible build.
Thank you, guys.
Totally wild.
Hey, my brother. I did it, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
Good job, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
All right. Would you like to say a few words, Mikey?
Please. My name's Mikey Brown. I'm from a town of 38 people, Deputy, Indiana. I've got a YouTube channel called Paper to Pavement, and I'm a hot rod recycler. I make smiles from scrap piles, and I do it all on my own. That little Isetta you see right there was in my trash. It's what was left over from my best attempt. I impressed Jay Leno last year. I got his pick. I made it to the finals, and I drew that car on finals night. I wrote down the words redemption vehicle, and as soon as I seen RV, I knew where I had to head, and it led me right here, guys. So thank you so much. And y'all, please tell everybody you know about Paper to Pavement on YouTube. That car right there was built from trash. The only thing that was BMW's the door. All the rest of that car was sculpted by these two hands you see right here. They're awfully sore, but I'm so proud to be here, guys. Thank you. Thank you, dude.
And here you go, much deserved.
Yeah, boy. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Yeah, boy. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So everybody, thanks again for coming out. Just want to make sure everyone knows, if you've got a car here on display, you're not allowed to start it or
It wasn't the same feeling I had in Indy. I wasn't confused at all. I finally was understood, and the judges that were there, they really listened. Like, they understood it. I feel like I did a lot better job too. I had, even the lack of sleep in Houston, just the success of that bus making it to that parking lot was such a relief to me that I felt like I did rest for 3 weeks. I felt like a tank had been lifted off my chest. And then to get in there and them say my name and me go up there and get to introduce myself to the Lone Star State as a Texas legend, felt good, man. Like, it felt real good. I don't always get these feelings. I didn't get that feeling in Indy. You know, in Indy I felt like, oh my gosh, I didn't say enough. I didn't let them know. I didn't unfold these things. I didn't put on a big enough show. And in Houston, I know I did. At the end of the day, I was exhausted from the show I'd put on. I got on that stage and I let the crowd know that we were there proudly, standing off of hard work and determination. I don't see an ounce of luck along the whole trip. I don't. The luck I seen was that bus getting there. The RV itself, I did think deserved to be in the semifinals, and I hope Jay Leno gets to see this thing. I want his judgment more than anybody, because if it's less than last year, I can live with that, but I don't. I was in here for every second of all of these Isetta's existence, and to me, this RV is twice the representation of me and my tribe than those other two were. And getting up on stage, winning the crowd over, and then all of them falling over to the backer board. I've been to a few of these shows, and I've never seen the crowd reception after the win like I have.
What's the dog? Clear the road! Clear the road! No! Thank you! Back, please! Move back now!
There we go.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it for Hollywood Record Show, baby.
Houston, Texas.
Indiana. Y'all, thank you so much. Thanks for giving me. There you go. All right, cool.
I had people rooting me on over at the backer board, and I had people stay after to interview me. JC Squared, which I follow on YouTube, he's a really awesome kid, man. I met him and his dad. They stayed and interviewed me. Then actual Hot Wheels videographers stayed after to interview me and hear this whole story. And they were wanting to go to a park or something and immediately I told them, guys, I have an idea. Like, I've worked really hard to do this, let me show you. And I rolled my school bus hauler right in behind us, and I set the perfect stage for them to use it all in the finale.
Thank you, dude.
Yep.
All right, Bob.
They're used by the man.
And it's a whole lot less stressful heading home with a win than a maybe. So the ride home was a lot easier than the one up, other than while we were in Houston, someone stole my license plate. So I headed back. We drove a lot through the dark just to make sure we didn't get spotted too much. But the old bus made it home perfect, didn't skip a beat. And once I pulled into the backyard, I parked it. And the next trip I took on it was to take trash off, and it popped a brake line. So we were on a mission from God or the universe or something, buddy, because it had just enough in it to get to Houston and back here before I had to start wrenching on it.
Mission accomplished. We did it. Back to the land of legends. Look at that. See this? My bus made it too. I got this bus done 5 days ago. It had 0 miles on it before I left, and now it's got like 2,500. So
Success!
that was a good shakedown run.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I went to Houston and got a lung transplant. I can finally breathe again.
Then the only thing you lost was a license plate, right?
I stole that sucker in Houston. So
I was so happy to get that feeling, and I do feel like I built a machine that deserves to hang on the pegs at Walmart. I do feel that way. And I can't thank every one of you all enough for believing it in me too and following along this whole way. I started this thinking that I would go down in a blaze of glory, you know, but I made it happen. I pulled this off, and I couldn't have done it without Keystone Tape sending us tape, and Flake sending us flake, and Ace of Shades paint sending that white lightning and that Italian red base coat. I couldn't have done it without them. And I couldn't have even got to Indianapolis. I couldn't have got anywhere without Wyotech coming on. And none of these videos would even be possible without the partnership we've made with Wyotech. So everything from this chase this year, I accomplished my goals, y'all. Last year I failed miserably. I was trying to land a sponsor. I was trying to get us a win. I wanted to build us some momentum to ride off of and some sponsors to ride off of. This little redemption vehicle's already done that for us. I hope there's something that you guys are working that hard for out there in the real world. And don't get stuck here chasing dreams with me. I'm living out mine the way I want to, and I hope if I've inspired you to do anything, it's to work on being your best self. Go out there and do it, y'all. I love you. We'll see you on the next episode.
Let's go.
Is that cool?
Perfect. I like that a lot.